working at the Juara Turtle Project. And every morning we try and find turtle tracks. And then there's one track. It means that the turtle's still nesting. And there's two. It means that the turtle has gone back. And once she's finished nesting, we get the eggs and we count the eggs and put them in. And we keep them the same position that we found them in. And then we transport them to our hatchery where we re-nest them. And then we put wire around it so when the turtles hatch they won't get mixed up with the other ones. And then we put them in a box and take them to their native beaches where we release them. And these are the areas that the turtles used to the turtles used to nest. Now there's only 3 spots left out of the whole island. 4 spots, sorry. And over here, last year there was 6 green turtle mothers and 2 hawksbill, and altogether they had 44 nests, and all of the eggs was 4,837. But they only had 4,276 babies, and they think that they went pretty good that year. So these are all the species. Good. These are the turtles that used to come here. This one, and the green turtle all used to come here. But now the olive ridley turtle and the leatherback turtle is extinct from here. They've never came back here before. So now it's only the green turtle and the hawksbill turtle. As you can see, they can grow pretty big, and we don't want to lose them. For a sea turtle to come mature and lay eggs, as a green sea turtle, it takes 25 to 30 years for it to come mature enough to lay eggs. So it's got to survive quite a long time for it to have eggs, and the hawksbill it gets mature between 18 years and 20 years, so it's pretty hard for them to survive that long. These are the total number of nests. In 2006, there was actually quite a lot of nests because there wasn't that much tourists around. But as you can see, it's gone down quite a bit now. Like in 2007, there was only 85. But just last year, there was only 44 nests altogether. When in 2006, there was 195, so it's pretty sad. And so, also, this is just how much, as you can see again, 2006 is way above the others because they've gone down a lot. Turtles also help us in our ecosystem. So when they're gone, the ecosystem is really bad. The leatherback turtle eats jellyfish. So since the leatherback turtle is gone now, the tourists come to see the fish, the corals and the turtles. So there's going to be more and more jellyfish that's going to eat the fish and just ruin it for us as well. The hawksbill turtle eats poisonous sponges that kills the corals. So when the hawksbill's gone, the coral will all go too, and you won't have any coral left. But since the fish don't eat it, there's actually quite a lot of food for the hawksbill. So yeah. The green turtles eat seagrass, and that helps us because if there was no green sea turtle, then the seagrass would overgrow and it would just become really bad for like the fish and stuff, and then it would be really hard and stuff for like the fish to survive and everything else to survive in the water. Over here are the threats to sea turtles. Of course there's the the pollution, which of course they just get really sick and stuff. And then there's here they collect the eggs. So when they wait till the mother sea turtles finish nesting, so then they go to the nest and collect the eggs and eat them. And so that's actually quite a big problem because one egg is worth 4 or 5 ringlets. So when there's about 200 eggs in a nest, it's a lot of money for the locals. Then there's shell souvenirs. People aren't allowed killing full-grown turtles in the wild anymore, but they're still allowed collecting eggs, so that's still a big problem. There's also habitat loss because there's lots of resorts and stuff coming up, and it loses all their habitats and all the oil spills and everything. Then there's beach development. When there's lots of resorts and stuff, the turtles go away because when the females nest, when they get distracted by the light, so they go away and then they don't have as much eggs as they should do. And when the eggs do hatch, then they get confused by the lightings, because normally in the nature they'll go to the ocean because the ocean is brighter than the beach, but with all the other bright lights around, they get confused and go to those, so they can get dehydrated and die sometimes. This is what we do. We patrol the beach 3 hours before and after the high tide. Like sometimes we've got to do it 1 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock, or it depends what the tide does. And by foot, we go around the beaches looking for turtle tracks with red lights, because red lights don't really disturb the turtles. So once they finish nesting, we collect the eggs as soon as possible, and we bring them to our hatchery where we re-nest them. And so after about 50 days, when they're hatched, we will release them back to the same beach. So we patrol this one by foot, but not this one because they don't come here anymore, but this one. And we take a boat to these ones here. And look at those two. These are the nests that happened in 2011 and 2012. But all these nests are done by just free turtles. And so you can see here they've come up, so this is like the sea area. They've just come up here, laid the nest and gone back. Sometimes they do get a bit lost, like here it's gone like this and straight back down. But that's only done by free turtles, so quite cool. And this happened in 2012. One was done right down by the lagoon down there, and quite close to the sea, so that's kind of surprising. And so the mother one, she had 6 nests, and altogether she had 706 eggs. The mother two had 9 nests and 1,045 eggs, which is pretty good. And the mother 3 had 3 nests and only 341 eggs. So she was born with no eyes, and she's blind. And she's a green sea turtle. When they found her, when she was hatched from an egg, she went around in circles on the beach because she couldn't find her way to the sea. So they brought her here where we hand feed her squid and cabbage. And when she's older, she could be about 1 metre tall. And she needs to breathe every 4 minutes, but the other turtles in the sea, they breathe every 40 minutes.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you want, you can scratch her back. She can feel it.
Back. Why not? She will bite you. You want to try? See? Look.
You want to sleep together with the turtle?
Yeah. Come. Yeah. You go there at the side.
So, it's alright to
Male
touch.
or female? This one?
Female.
Female. How do you know?
The two reasons, because the females have short tails and the males have long tails.
Oh, very good.
And she was on the ones, the eggs at the bottom when they're laid, they turn into males because the temperature is colder, and the ones at the top turn into females because the temperature is hotter.
Oh, very good.
Very impressive.
Yeah, impressive. You also don't know how to look. Yeah. This is green or?
Yeah, green turtle.
Green.
Yeah.
This is flying.
It's still a child, it's 6 years old, but when they turn 30, they are mature and they can lay eggs.
When we do find a nest, we measure the depth and how wide it is and everything, and we do the exact same nest in our hatchery. And some of the beaches around the corner here, they have actually trees that they can have shade, so you've got to actually work out the right shade and everything. And the funny thing is, the gender depends on the temperature of the temperature of the sand. So the ones on the top, which would obviously be hotter because of the sun shining down, would be females, and the ones on the bottom would be males because they're cooler. And the nest can actually be to about as long as a full-grown person's arm, so about 50 centimeters, which is quite big. And so when they're born, they eat. They're not so worried about all the food because they eat their egg sac and then climb out of the sand. And they've got all the energy to go straight to the beach. So when they are born, when they are hatched, it's really important for us to get them out as quickly as possible so the energy doesn't waste out because they need that energy to get out to the sea. And nobody really knows what the sea turtles, what the babies do for like 5 years. People start seeing them after about 6 years, and that's when. That's only when they see them, so that was our tour.